Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are playing some Heat Death. This is an open world survival with a mobile based aspect of it there. We woke up naked, hooked up to some wires, which you don't get to see as part of the story, and your lab is absolutely empty, and you stumble out into the cold and realize that this place is barren. There's nobody around except for there's some train tracks leading you towards what looks like a civilization, and our task is to go down here and head over here and check it out. Now, this game is only available right at the moment on Steam as a demo. The full version is not supposed to come out until 2024. I have played through this prologue, and I have absolutely been having a blast with it. It is fantastic. And plus, look at all this snow. Look at it. How beautiful is this? How awesome is this scenery? That's just absolutely gorgeous. Here in Texas where I live, let me over the rocks. Here in Texas where I live, we don't get snow very often anyway. If there's snow, it doesn't happen until late January, early February, and we definitely don't get this much. We get like a light dusting, and most of it's just ice anyway, so yeah. I'll go ahead and pick up these real quick. Shadow breezes, I'll need these to be able to make some energy drinks here in a little bit. So this is a survival game. It's like I said, it's early access right now, and the fact that you can't really do a lot because it's just a demo, but there's enough here to where you can really spend some time playing and customizing and having a lot of fun with it. So we're going to play it for a little while, put it on the channel. If you want to see some more of it, definitely leave a like on the video. Whether you want to or not leave a like on the video, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about it. And if you want to, you can go wishlist the game too. Control panel. Okay, so we got to turn on the power. Disconnect it from the network. All right, so that's step one. We got to go up here and then we turn this on. You're going to be riding your train back and forth, not really back and forth, but between different areas of civilization, basically. Boom. Now we have power. See, one of the ways that you save this game, or the only way you can save the game, is with these body scanners. So you can go in, save the game. It uses a little bit of station power. You can see it uses minus 100 station power. In the demo, I have not encountered anything that's problematic as far as how much power the stations themselves have. And you can see right over here, capacity is at 2,000, and it slowly recharges its way back up. And you'll see here in a little bit the train is the same way. So every time you do anything, it uses power there. So if you just completely overdo it, then your system will shut down and you have to wait for it to reboot, basically. All right, these are blueprints. You get a blueprint. Like for right at the moment, we have to find 3 of them. And once we find 3 of them, we'll unlock the ability to make the engine, which we're going to need for our train. So once you encounter a civilization like this, you get all these different buildings. You got like the control center, you got the station, got all these little individual labs and habs and things like that where you're going to be able to collect things. You'll find letters laying around that give you a little bit of a hint as to where to go or what's been going on. Like in this one, it gives you the code 5011. So when we get over to the train station where it's locked, right over there, we can get inside of it. I'm going to turn my flashlight off. Power's on so we can investigate here. This is the rest room. I don't really think there's anything in here a lot of, but there we go. We got an energy drink. You can see down in the corner, you got your health, you got your stamina, and you got your strength, basically. One of the things that does happen in this game, too, and it's really cool in the way that it does it, is that storms will blow in. And you'll see this cloud cover just forming over the top of it. The wind starts blowing real hard. The coldness gets even worse than it was originally. Let's see, 5011. Haha, now we can get into the storage. And yeah, if you're stuck outside, the cold will kill you. So that's one of those you definitely got to make sure that your train is either sealed or that you are in a spot where you can hang out inside one of the little civilization spots they have. That's really about your only option. So to make sure I didn't miss anything in here, I don't think I did. This opening spot's not too bad. Okay, so now it wants us to find the train. We're not going to do that just yet because that's right down there. It's right at the moment there's not much of a train anyway. And while we can still navigate between the buildings, I want to run up here and check to see if there's anything. That's one of these things that I like. This does this in games sometimes. You click the button, boom, ladder is climbed. You don't have to do anything more than that. See, material. Okay, so you're going to have smart material, you're going to have material. These are a lot of the things that you're going to use to be able to build all the stuff that's on your train and all the things that go along with your train. So you definitely, calm down. You definitely want to be able to have as much as possible. Now, we will also encounter the area in which you can craft smart material from regular material. So it's not super difficult to find materials and stuff that you need. And this prologue here gives you a lot of leeway as things that you can find. It's not real hard to find things early on. I can imagine as the game comes out, the further you get into it, the harder it is. Okay, we got another blueprint, so you can see that's engine tier 2 of 3. So we need one more to be able to unlock the actual train engine itself. So we got to go through all these buildings and loot and see what kind of fun stuff we can find. Now that we have the power on, all these doors should be unlocked. Go inside the hab. And let's see what we have. Got an energy drink. No, that's a small battery. You can see down at the bottom left, you get your little power thing down here. The more... your suit requires power, and you need power to be able to build things. So it utilizes power in order to do things. And these little small batteries, like if I use one right here, boom, I used it. So now my energy level down there is full. My second one is your stamina. The more you sprint, the lower your stamina, max stamina goes down. Lights on, off. All right, let's go through and check out Mia. She's a ranger. Use the biogen to craft energy drinks, food, and first aid kits. Yes. Check out this. Here's a little bit of the story if you want to read it. I've gone through and done all of these a couple times, so as far as the story itself, it's not necessarily required. This is, the only thing I can craft right at the moment is just energy drinks. Tells you it's going to take this much station power, takes about 60 seconds, takes 1 material and 4 shadow breezes. The shadow breezes are the plants that I found outside. Let's see if there's any laying around right over here. They're pretty easy to find. If you're going through and playing this yourself, I would recommend grabbing those while you can. Energy drinks are a super fast, easy way to build up some of your energy quickly. There's other ways to do it, but these you'll find laying around really easily, so it's not too difficult. Might as well grab some while you can. Now, I will say, running around in the snow does make you run a little bit slower. So if you're stomping around here, it will use a lot more stamina. And check it out. You see my footprints. How cool is that? I love a game that shows realistic, like, tracks in the snow. Just because it makes it more realistic. Energy drink. And go. It's going to take it 60 seconds. It'll do its thing. You got 2 of them here. Now, right at the moment, the only thing I know how to craft here is just energy drinks. So we can't do anything more with that anyway. But eventually, you can use it to craft first aid supplies and things like that. Another small battery. Let's see. Is there anything else in here? Doesn't really look like it. Nope. All right. While it's crafting, we'll go over and check out old Leo's room. See if he's got anything. Tech scrap. Nothing else over here. There is a lot of things in the game that are just aesthetics right now. So you can see, like, there's a shelf over here, this weird little, looks like a vacuum cleaner to me. You got these toolboxes here, little things laying around you can't interact with yet. I don't know if you ever will. I don't have any sort of collaboration going on with the developer, so I know nothing more than just what I played with. Boom. Now we got the engine unlocked, so when we get to our train, we can straight up craft it. We'll be ready to go. But in the meantime, while that's crafting, I want to get all the stuff from all the things. You do have a limit how much you can carry. Right now, you see my inventory. I'm at 18.5 of 30. So you will definitely fill up your inventory really, really quickly. You're going to have to make some storage. So if I was going to give the developer any sort of feedback, the one thing I would say would be like, hey, is there any chance in this world that we could get the storage boxes we can make for the train to hold a little bit more storage than what they do? And we'll get to that here in a minute, but they don't really hold much more than what I can. Did I go in here? Yeah, I did. That's where the blueprint was. Okay, let's go down here and check out our train so you guys can see what that looks like. And then we'll hit up some of these other buildings. So we got that whole area and these 2 buildings over here to get to. But this is the train station. Ta-da! Right at the moment it's empty. There we go. Yep, this is just telling you all the stuff and the things that you would have learned if you came over here first. We go ahead and take you, and our next blueprint is for the dynamo. The dynamo is for manually charging your train, and we'll get to that here in just a minute as well. I'm going to go ahead and charge one of my batteries. This small battery charger, you can actually craft one of those. Not right there, but you can craft a small battery charger. I think it's down... Where's it at here? Battery charger. But you can see a couple things here are locked until the full version comes out, and that's okay. There's enough here to be able to play around with, but eventually you have to find all the blueprints to unlock all this. Like the chest, we know how to make. The body scanner, this is where we'll learn how to make a body scanner because you have to have the body scanner to be able to save your game. So right at the moment, Most of the places that I've found and every little civilization we stop at has a battery charger inside one of their stations. So they're not super duper hard to find, but you can't have one as your own personal charger right off the bat here. So we'll grab all this stuff here. Check out the random trash can, take that, and now we are absolutely chonky already. Lovely. We got a couple more of the little crafting things like we saw over there. Another blueprint for the dynamo. Unlock the ceiling. I've done this a couple times, and I don't necessarily know why this is a thing. Our train does not fly. It hovers, like on a magnetic track, but it doesn't fly. So why we can leave the, or why we can open the roof, no idea. Okay, all right, so this is our train. As you can see, there's not much to it. Look, we have one car connected to another car. That's all there is to it right at the moment. Everything that you want to do here, you have to build. So we're going to start off. First thing we have to do is we have to build an engine, which is under here. A tier 1 engine. Boom, we're ready to go. Okay, let's rotate you around. I want you facing like right. Hold on, see if I can get you about dead center here. Boom. Not enough engine components. What? Okay, we got to look around and find some more engine components. I'm missing some stuff. It's going to be in one of those other places, I bet. Or maybe I'll get lucky and there'll be one sitting right up in here somewhere. Smart material, tech scrap. What are you? That's just basic material. Blueprint. Okay, we unlocked the dynamo, and there's the engine component. Great. Okay, so how I am as chunky as one can get. So what I should probably do is make myself a quick storage so I can throw some stuff down. Because we won't be able to go exploring at all if I don't add some storage right away. I'll go ahead and put you just right there for now. And let's see. Let's store a few things in here just to kind of keep us from being super duper chunky. Smart material and regular material take up the most amount of space. It's basically like metal. And I've got 11 of these, so I'll just store all of that right at the moment so that I can pick up the component for the engine. And we'll get our engine going here. Okay, we got our engine placed here. Now, right at the moment, all it does is it just creates power. We have no way to actually use that. So, the game's walking us through and tells us we have to go over to the fabricator here, and now we can make a couple more things over here. We need to make a screen. See, this is where you can make smart material, because you can find material really easily. Smart material, you don't get found as much, so you have to use your material to make smart material. Same thing with mechanical parts, tech scrap, small batteries, that sort of thing. But right at the moment, we got to make ourselves a screen. Doesn't take a lot of time. Ta-da! We got a screen. We're going to need another one here in just a moment. But right at the moment, we're just getting the controls going here. So we need, what is it? Is it art? No, it's not an architecture. Engine screen. Here we go. So we need one of those. Let's rotate you around this way. See if I can put you about right in the center, like that. Power control panel. Okay, so this is where you turn your engine on and off. It shows you exactly how fast you're going, your velocity, what your mass of your train is. If you turn it on right at the moment, it doesn't really do a whole lot. It just kind of lifts up off the ground. See, our train floats like magnetically, and it uses power as it's running. Goes forward, goes backwards, and this is the stop button. And you turn it off, boom, your train lands again. All right, so the other thing it wants me to build is a power screen, which we need another screen for, and we need some smart material. So I'm going to have to take a little bit of material out of here. That should be good. All right, let's go over and make ourselves a screen. Got it. Got our screen, got a little bit of smart material. We should be able to get our other control panel that we have set up right over here. Locomotive, power screen. Okay, let's get this one right next to that one, because we're going to use both of these a lot. And then the next thing we have is being able to like build into the ship itself. Perfectly aligned. Look at that. Okay, almost perfectly aligned. So this one tells you right at the moment our train has a power maximum of 500 out of 500 from this one engine. You put another engine on there, you get more power. And right at the moment, if it's on, it uses 50 every minute. So as it's on, I'll turn it on here just so you can kind of see what it's doing. Oh, there we go. So as you can see right at the moment, it's not doing a lot. It's going down just 10 every minute. That's not too bad. When it's just sitting idle, it goes down really slow. But if you start moving, then it uses a lot more power. Now, what it's showing over here at the moment is this plus 50. That means every minute it recharges itself. So if you ever get to a point where you're stuck and you're like, well, okay, now I have no power, what do I do? That's what you do. You have to wait for it to recharge on its own, or you have to make yourself a manual charger. And that's pretty much your only option there. I'm going to go ahead and use this small battery, get our system power up. Let me get you. All right, now we got one small one, and we got some more Shadow Breeze, and I have an energy. Hang on, I think I stored one. Yeah, let me drink you real quick, and that'll keep that up. I got 3 more on us. Okay, train is ready to go. Basically, from there, you could technically leave, but you will freeze to death the moment the first storm rolls in, and bad things will happen. Try to look around, see if the storm is coming yet. Now, in terms of where we are, I don't know. We haven't got that much of a story yet as to what this... Because this is totally a synthetic arch going around whatever planet we're on. So if this is Earth way off in the future. Also, there is a way to add solar powers to your train. If you do get to a point where you have some solar panels and stuff, you can get your train to recharge via solar as well. So it's another option instead of just having to manually crank it every time. Okay, so this is the habitat. Have we been in? We have not been in this one yet, so let's go through and rummage this. Another energy drink. Some more fabricators here. Let's see what Lena's got in her office. But again, right at the moment, you'll find some small things laying around here and there, but most of everything you see in the rooms is just for aesthetics. You can't pick up a lot of it here. But in one way, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, and I'm in no way scoffing at the design of the game for that, because it's simplified. I don't have to go through and search every drawer for nothing. Okay, another log entry. Okay, so we just picked up some icicle ammo. From what I've been playing so far in the game, I have not needed any ammo myself. Now, you can eventually craft some guns to put on your ship. See, we got 1 out of 3 on the body scan here. You can craft guns to put on these ships, and the icicle ammo is what you'll use for one of those kinds of guns. So when you do get to the point where you encounter some of the baddies, you actually have a way to defend yourself. And that's what those guns are going to be for. But that's something we'll have to get to later on. Because right at the moment, we're not going to be shooting anything at this particular location. We're just going to gather up all the rest of this stuff, and we'll be ready to head back to the train. Okay? This habitat is clear. Hopefully we don't have any storms rolling just a little bit, so I have plenty of time to investigate and scavenge through all the rest of these buildings. There's only a couple more small ones, so that shouldn't take too much time, and then we'll be ready to be building onto our train. You definitely want to scavenge as much as humanly possible. Body scanner 2 out of 3, because that's where you're going to find the supplies to be able to build anything, because you need material, smart material, tech scrap, and that sort of stuff in huge quantities to be able to build all the things that you're going to need to stay alive. And, yep, that's a scraper. We'll explain that here in a minute. And once you take off into the wild, you go for a little ways before you come across another civilization. So, you definitely don't want to be... wait, is there a light in here? There's not. Okay, no big deal. Some smart material and some regular material. Nice. As you see, that material is pretty heavy. All right, this dude right here that's kind of floating about, he's known as a scraper. I'm going to go ahead and steal his stuff real quick. And I'm chonky. Okay. Well, I guess, tell you what, I'll follow you. If you encounter any of these scrapers, like that one running around right over there, what they do is, if you follow them, they will lead you to an area to where you can find things you may not know existed. Like right here, it's kind of obvious. You can see up on the hill, there's some more habs up there. As you get further away in other civilizations, you'll see these guys bouncing around, and it doesn't look like they're going anywhere. But if you follow them, then you'll see, oh, okay, they are actually leading me somewhere. And it's places to be able to find some better supplies, more materials, more smart material. So if you see them bouncing around, it's worth your effort to go and actually follow them. I got to drop some things off in here. We're already super chunky. But what I was saying earlier, see, the chest can only hold 20 weight out of 30 here. So, like, I have a bunch of material, like a whole bunch of it here. If I store the material, what's making me the heaviest and the chunkiest, look, my chest is already full, and I still have stuff here. So what I end up having to do is build a second chest just to be able to store some extra stuff. So, devs, if you happen to be watching this, which I can't imagine you would, but if you happen to be, maybe, just maybe, make it so that the default chest we can make can hold a little bit more weight than what we have here. It'd probably be a good idea, I think. At least that's my idea. Okay, hang on. I'm going to run up here and save it real fast. You see the first one I played for almost 2.5 hours before I even started recording. Make sure I had a good feel for the game. All right, let's run back out, and we'll go follow the scraper. Let me show you where he's going to lead us to. We need some snowshoes. We really cannot run very fast in here. All right, let's have a look off in the horizon line. Let's see. As far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be a humongous change in the day-night cycle from what I've played during the demo here, at least. Now, there might be in full release, you might see a lot more night dark. It definitely feels darker at times, but as far as like the sun setting and then a moon coming up and it taking forever to be daylight, I haven't noticed that myself. Not to say it's not in here, just saying I haven't noticed it yet. So let's go up here and see what the scraper wants to show us. But what he does is he will travel from his little magnetic pod up to a pile of scrap. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Up to a pile of scrap like this. His entire job in the story of this game is that he finds these and then takes this stuff back for use. This doesn't do anything for you. It's just here. It's only just for him to come up here and lead you to it. Check out the footsteps. But if you follow him, he will lead you to extra locations where you can find stuff. So let's go ahead and steal all the stuff that's not nailed down, because we're going to need as much as possible. And then we'll go over and get to building on our train. And then we just have to hope that the storm doesn't show up here. The storms do seem pretty random, but I would say fairly common. I can't say uncommon. While I played for a little over 2 hours the first time or whatever, I encountered a storm several times. I did get trapped out in one once, and it was a little bit hectic, but it wasn't like life or death terrible. I made it back to the train, I survived and all that, but it was definitely one of those like, uh-oh. You know, I don't know if eventually there's going to be some way to detect when a storm's coming in a little bit sooner than later. What are you? Another log entry. Yay, constant daylight is torture. Okay, so there's more to the story here. It's like being further north during the summer months, and the fact that the sun doesn't actually set, it just kind of bounces around the horizon line, never actually sets. Okay, we got everything that we can here. Let's go down and start working on building our train so that we can depart and venture on to the next area. Oh, and by the way, if you're inside a building, you're safe from the storms, even if the door's open, because this is futuristic hologram technology. So I'm inside and comfortable, outside and exposed. So even, I mean, you can close these doors. You just click on it right here in the middle and it'll close if you want to, just to feel like you're doing something normal. But if you're inside, you're okay. All right, I want to go ahead and use another small battery to keep my energy up, because building uses your energy. So you're going to be charging a lot of your batteries a lot here. Okay, all right, so it wants us to go through and build some windows. So let's do that. I want to build a window corner. We're gonna get this all nice and rounded here so it looks cool. Train engineer, congratulations! You're a train engineer. Customize your train. So that's what's funny, is that this is all you have to be a train engineer. We got a train control, we got a power control, we got an engine, and we got some windows, and that's all we need. Now, we're not going to be very well protected. We could technically leave right now. We could just straight up haul some biscuits out of here, and we would be good to go, no problems at all. Well, I mean, aside from freezing to death, and would have zero protection from the elements and stuff that's out there. But this is all you have to be able to leave this place and be done with the intros. But we are not about to do that. I need to make a couple more windows. From what I've gathered so far, because there's not really threats or anything in the demo version of this, that I don't have enough material, that having just glass isn't really that big a deal. I haven't noticed having regular walls versus glass being like more protective than the others. So at the moment, just build it however you want to. We'll take all of that. Well, no, I can't take. Maybe I can take that. We'll see. Let's get another window going. Oh, by the way, if you're trying to build and it won't connect, sometimes you like that. It's like, it's there. Why isn't it working? You see the arrows pointing outwards. You hit the R button and rotate it around, and then that'll allow you to slap it in place there. So you can, if you're trying to figure out why it won't let you place something there, it has to be like inside, not outside. So it's one of those that took me a minute to figure out. Thought I might be able to save you the trouble. All right, let's put some walls. Another instance like that. Walls. Okay. All right, so now I need to build myself a door, which are going to be all the way down here. You do have access to stairs as well, so I don't have enough smart material. Oh, so you can build stairs, and you can put a floor up on top of this if you want to make it a two-story train. I didn't personally see a need for a two-story train. Dunskies. All right. Now, one of the things that I did when I was playing the first time, and I don't recommend, is trying to build this epic train from the very first station that you encounter here, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like, I built walls all the way down, stuff like this, and then I was like, well, I have looted everything in the area. I have no more supplies. Now what do I do? Actually, I think this is this supplies? No, that's outside now. Okay, well, we'll open it up so we have a breeze blowing through here. It's getting a little hot. Um, is Yeah, I had went through and built like all of this, and then realized I had no supply, so I drove to the next station with no roof, none whatsoever. But you can see my power meter over there in the bottom left hand corner is basically drained because placing even just a little bitty thing uses up suit power. So that's why I was saying it's good to have a couple batteries on you if possible, because you're going to end up needing those. Like I have 5 on me right now. Put one in there, get you charging. I used 2 to get it completely full. Okay, now let's see if I can get this thing enclosed so that I can go back and forth and stay nice and protected until we get at least to the next area. Okay, it's not a glamorous train. It really is not. We have our door here, and we have basically a little box. Having our storage back here, nothing's going to bother our storage while we're here. We can just keep that right there, and then as we get some more supplies, when you go into build mode, you can destroy this sort of things here, so you can go into scrap mode with V, and tear this apart if you want to put a door on there or extend the walls or whatever. So when you're ready to move, to a little bit bigger building, you can tear down the walls and rebuild it. More than once, I had to like rip down my door and scrap it so that I could get some of the smart material that I needed in order to be able to build literally anything else, some storage places. So we need to get a little bit of a roof over us just so it'll protect us. I don't know if we're going to have enough materials here. We may have to drive to the next train station without a roof again. Take both and get you going real quick. While it's doing that, let's check. I want to run over to that building right over there. I think that's where it's at here, because I have a decent amount of this shadow breeze, and if I could get 2 more, then I can make a couple more energy drinks. Well, you know what? Never mind. I can't make any energy drinks because I don't have any more material. We're going to have to move on to the next little area and call it good. I have 4 on me, so I'm okay. But I don't have the ability to make any more because I don't have any more of the stuff. I'm basically just waiting for my battery to recharge. You should be good. Let me see. We've got 5 small batteries. We're good. Let's get it saved real quick and we'll be ready to head out of this place. Okay, it's time to hit the open road and come over here and open the door. I'm hoping we don't run into a storm because we're going to be kind of screwed at the moment. Well, we're technically kind of inside, but we're not really protected from much. We have walls that protect us from the wind. That's about it. All right, let's fire up this bad boy. Get you hovering off the ground here. And let's see. We are at 500 out of 500, minus 10 per minute, and boom. So now when you're moving just one speed, see it's minus 100 per minute. So it goes down. You can go up to, throttle up to 3, but it uses a tremendous amount of power. You do move along pretty quickly here, so I usually just put it on 1 and then just kind of come up, sit here, and enjoy the view because it really is a pretty view. But we got a little bit of a drive. We're just going to follow the tracks. Now, between the civilizations, there's a whole lot of area you can run around in, and sometimes you might find a little secret cave or something like that. But right at the moment, especially with it being an early access prologue game where it's just kind of a demo, there's not a whole lot to find if you go running out over there, and it's a good way to get lost in the storm. So if you're playing it and you want to download the demo and take off running throughout the wild, go for it. Just make sure you've got some energy drinks and some batteries to charge your happy butt. But other than that, storm weather forecast, storm is forming. Temperature drop during the storms. It's better to be indoors. You can also check the forecast inside the control center's main room. Well, once we get to the control center, we will. Let's see if we can see the storm approaching here. Which direction? Because you'll see the clouds kind of forming as we're going. But you can see our next civilization we got to stop at is right over there. So it's not too far to have to go. All right, see, now you can see the clouds starting to form over here. I'm guessing just because of the way it's scripted for the demo, you can see the thick clouds rolling in pretty fast as I'm getting pretty close to this next little area here. As much time as I spent dorking around in the front area, I never had a storm roll in over there. But this is the storms you're going to have to deal with, and it blows in pretty quickly. When it does, it's just kind of dark outside a little bit. It gets super cold, super windy. We're almost to the next area, so we can do some investigation in here. Not a big deal. Let's see, how are we on power? We're a little bit less than half, but it's not a big deal. We're almost to where it's at. And again, as long as your train is off, it'll recharge on its own, so you don't have to fuss too terribly much on it. But you see in the bottom left, right above my heart, you got the little blinking cloud to let you know, hey, by the way, it's friggin' storming out here. Hit the stop button, turn the engine off, and we are good to go. See, it's blocking some of the wind, so it's not too bad right at the moment. But step out, Now the wind's just ripping, it's snowing pretty good, and the longer you're exposed to it, you'll start to see the icicles start to form on the screen, which you can kind of see. And it's kind of hard to tell in here because it's kind of dark. I think we're going to have to get over and... Ooh, hang on. Nope, that's just the regular fabricators. We need to get some material before we can do anything else. We need most of that to be able to build onto our ship, so I'm not worried about using that for anything else. Alright, so we got some tech scrap. Nothing on the TV, but you can see the train track as to how far it winds down around here. There's quite a bit of track to travel along here, and this is the other fabricator. There's two different fabricators, I've noticed, and they kind of... This one is where you can make like drinks and first aid and food, and then there's the big tall one, and this is where you use to be able to make material that you're going to need for building and functioning on the ship. Boom! We got the body scanner unlocked, so we can put one on our actual train right at the moment and be able to save it as we're going along here. Speaking of, go ahead and save you real quick. Good to go. Alright, so it's nice and dark and stormy out. There's not a lot of buildings on this first stop. There's the one that's here. There's one right over there. That's the actual station. That's where, like, your train stations, you know, where you'd stop and get information here. We got storage, and we got other buildings along the way here. You're freezing. See, now you can see the glass look in the corners here. You can't be exposed to the storm for very long, or you will freeze to death really, really fast. Go ahead and take you, and we are chonky as can be. Let me drink one of you, and then I can take one more material, and we are completely full. Anything else I can open in here? Nope, it's a little dark. Okay, we need to get back. Actually, what I'm going to end up having to do is just kind of hang out in here at the moment. And my energy is really low because we used it to build some stuff. I used a couple batteries. So basically at this point, see, there's another scraper right there. He's across there, the little flying robot. If you follow him, he will lead you out to a different spot. So just like last time, he just takes off into the distance and you follow him along and he'll lead you to a spot where you can get some additional stuff. Now, one of the things that I end up having to do most of the time when a storm rolls in is just kind of hang out. Turn my flashlight out, just kind of hang out and wait for it to blow over, because you can bounce back and forth between the buildings here, but if you're exposed for too long, it will start hurting you pretty good. Your health will start going down and bad things happen. So you don't want to be outside in it for very long or you're going to die. And oh look, some canned soup. That's the other way to get some stamina right there. And our stamina is full, our energy's full. Here's a battery charger. Might as well just let you do your thing. I'll look around and see what we have. First aid kit. We haven't taken any damage yet, fortunately. Letter. Let's go ahead and see what this is. Log entry. Received message landed today. Train's on the way to arrive tomorrow. Yeah, so when you're following these logs that you have from these individuals, you'll find that most of it is, hey, by the way, the train should be here to rescue us tomorrow. Why isn't anybody coming? That sort of thing. So while we're waiting for the storm to roll past, which you can see it kind of breaking up now. And I think that looks really cool. Because, it's like a sped up version of it, but that's what it looks like when a storm, the back end of a storm after it rolls past you. Good old Texas thunderstorm. That's lovely. And now we can go back outside. The storm icon's not there, so we can be out and about without freezing our biscuits off. All right, let's get this one to finish charging. We'll throw the other one on here, and then we'll go grab some more stuff. All right, chests are pretty much full of stuff now, but not too big a deal. All right, check the power station, make sure everything can be on here. Let's see, disconnect from the network. Nope, we need to leave you on. Turn off, you're already on, so I won't mess with you. Nothing to interact with here. Power control is on. I'm going to go ahead and take your small battery. Thank you very much. Another blueprint, and now we are one blueprint closer to being able to make the icicle, which is the gun. I can show you down here under defense. Icicle, it's a light cannon. I need to have 2 more of those, and you can put that on here, and then ta-da, you get access to the minigun that is basically, that's basically what it is. It shoots icicle lights, or icicle ammo. It's pretty cool. Check the train. Okay, good on charging there. All right, I think I want to go find the, I'm going to see what the scraper's doing just a minute. I want to make sure I got this other battery that's done charging. Good to go. All right, Mr. Scraper. I know where he's wanting to lead me on this one here, so I'm just going to go up there. You can see he's just going up this little ridge and then up over the top of this mountain, so we'll run over there. By the way, it's a hell of a lot easier to run on the tracks than it is on the snow, so if you have to go long distance, just hop on the track. You see that right over there? That is the next problem we have to encounter. But first things first, let's go up here. The storms do happen somewhat frequently, but it's not problematic, like, oh my god, it's like every 30 seconds there's a new storm. It's not that bad, and so you can, you know, feel free to roam around the outside without feeling like you're in danger or you can't leave and risk freezing your butt off. You got plenty of time between storms, but if you've been outside for a while, you're like, man, I haven't seen a storm in just a little bit. You may want to run for cover because you probably get trapped out there. Thank you. You're a good boy too. Yes, you are. Thank you for showing me where this is at. There's not a lot over here, but this is one of those random spots where he's going to lead you over. See his special pile of scrap over there leads you over to this small little crate. There's not much over here. This crate is just what everything's sitting on. So we got smart material, yay, open you up, and some regular material. There's 4 of them in there. Boom. Need all of that. Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, we should be able to get some more building done on our train. And by the way, once you're at this little second station, don't forget to run up here to the top here, because there's there's not much up here, but there's always, you know, there's always something worth going on. 1 teeny tiny little building, 2 teeny tiny little buildings. You never know what you're going to miss. But this is where the power's come from. Look at the size of the solar panels. That should be able to last for a little while. So this is the workstation. We should have access to being able to recharge batteries and stuff in here if we want to. I think. Some small batteries, we'll take that. There's another blueprint right, y'all. 2 or 3 on the icicles. Now, right at the moment, from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like there's a specific blueprints. It's not randomized. At least in this demo, the blueprints that you find are in order. So you find 3 for the engine, and then 3 for the dynamo to be able to make the manual charger, and then 3 for the something else. Nice, there's 8 more materials. So it's not randomized right at the moment. So if you're playing through the demo, you're going to find the blueprints in the same order every time. You're not going to be finding the icicle cannon before you find the engine. So in that very first starting area, you will find enough material to be able to make the engine and the dynamo. You'll find the blueprints to be able to do all of that. But that's not that big a deal. So let's come back over here, and we've got plenty of stuff on us. So let's see if we can't at least build a roof to kind of get our hideous-looking train going, looking a little bit more suitable. It looks like an iron box at the moment. Okay, let's see if we can't put a roof over the top of this. Oh, okay. I gotta get a couple more batteries going in me here. I've got 7, fortunately. Hope I have enough material to do this. Also, I'm not 100% certain that I'm building this in a way that's not going to look stupid. Trying to get these lined up so that they're all facing the right direction, I'm not very good at it. So, I'm trying, but we'll see what it looks like when I actually get out here. Put one more right there. Blocked! Okay, so I can't put anything right there. Let's go outside and look how terrible this looks. That is janky. That is absolutely janky. Terrible looking. That looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. It will help a little bit. It's not great, but it will help a little bit keeping some of the stuff out of it. Let me see if I can do, if there's anything better. Ceiling edge, ceiling corner. Maybe I can do a ceiling corner up here. You can only build on your train. Okay, so you have to be like all up inside of it to be able to build. You can't build from outside, apparently. Well, that's kind of sort of unfortunate. Let's see, building out of building areas. So I can't put you there. What if, hang on, let's go into this. Get rid of you and you. That, oh my God, those just look, having this little seam down the middle, that is not good for water runoff. That's just not going to work at all. Okay, so we'll do ceiling corners. And which, I kind of wish that it would allow me to rotate a little bit better and see what I'm doing. Having this, whereas as close it is right now, it's kind of hard to tell. Well, as I was there trying to fix the roof on this janky ship that I'm calling a train, another storm blew in, lasted for a good little bit, so I basically just ran inside over there at Anna's station and recharged a lot of my batteries. But you can see I got my roof looking a lot better. Now, of course, the challenge is that I have the edge of the wall right here, basically, so I need to tear these down in order to be able to extend the roof a little bit further, because if not, I have a little bit of a sunroof. Not that big a deal right at the moment. I don't necessarily care specifically. All right, so I need to be able to make, let me see, where's it at? It's under others, body scanner. I need 2 more things of material and a tech scrap. Let's see if I have those in my storage out here, because I need that to be able to save as I'm going along. So tech scrap, go ahead and take both of those just in case, and some material. That should give me the ability to be able to put this in here at the moment. You can get to the point where you can learn to make indoor and outdoor lights too, and then you have the ability to turn these on and off. At the moment, they don't really do anything because there's no lights here. So if you saw that and you're just like, hey, well, Cap, why don't you turn the lights on? I can't turn them on. They don't exist. All right, so we got a body scanner. Let's get you rotated around the right direction. Put you right... Actually, I should probably put you like that. There we go. Now we have a way to save it from on our train itself. Now, keep in mind, it still uses 100 train power. So as your train is sitting here, I'm sitting at 500 right at the moment. If I want to come in here and if you're like one of those people like me that saves a lot, you're going to use a lot of train power. So now it has to go back up again because we went ahead and saved it. But it's not a big deal. It's not a tremendous big deal because we definitely needed that. Let's see. So, we need to put some stuff up over here. Some of the things that we don't have to have on us to keep us from being super duper encumbered. I did run through there and pick up the canned soup and the health kit that was in over there while I was getting that charged. See if this other battery's ready to go yet. Good to go. And we got one more we can charge in there and then we'll be ready to head off. Let me see. I did get you and I did get you. Okay, we're going to get all these going here, and then we'll be ready to head off to the next little spot. I'm going to check in over here in storage, make sure there wasn't anything else I missed in here. I thought I got everything except for what was in that one little hab over there, and I'm not sure I even checked his spot, but I'll check it now. Haha, 11 material. That's enough to be able to add some walls there. Okay, guys, well, that's going to do it for this one. The next video, if you guys want to see some more or whatever, we're going to be heading over there. We have this electronic barrier, takes us to another civilization. We got to be able to deactivate that to be able to get across the bridge and get all up inside the mountains over there. So if you want to see some more, definitely let me know in the comments. Leave some, likes on the video because it helps out a whole hell of a lot, and I appreciate it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe if you're not already so you don't miss out on future videos. And in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.